kunting programa ngayong araw na ito. Bagamat ganito kasimple, pero makabuluhan siya. Okay? This would be a historical day for Zamboanga Peninsula. Sa nakikita natin, although wala dito yung mga ibang kasama from the other provinces, ang nandito lang basically ay yung Zamboanga del Sur, headed by Ustaz Isa Ibrahim. Pero yung chairman po, provincial chairman ng Zamboanga Sibugay, nandito. Papakilala din namin mamaya. Ang provincial chairman din ng Zamboanga del Norte ay nandito. Puro po mga credible na mga tao ito. Kilala po namin ito. So, ito ang mga taong kasama natin, pamunuan yung ating pagkilos, yung ating revolusyon. Okay, so mamaya si Bishop papaliwanag niya sa atin, bakit revolusyon? Kasi minsan pag revolusyon, medyo ito yung tingin ng iba. So, 360-degree turnaround. Maintindihan natin ang ibig sabihin ng revolusyon. Okay? So, at this point in time, with the indulgence of my beloved leaders from the national down to the provincial, please allow me to call you and please occupy the table in front. Of course, yung ating pong National Founding Chairman, Bishop Nilo Tayag, sir. Brother Mustapha Kabalu, our Regional Chairman of the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao Regional Council. Our Provincial Chairman of Zamboanga Sibugay, Habibul Jahab Hasim. Our Provincial Chairman of Zamboanga del Norte, Sharif Azhar Sarhadil, sir. Or, of course, the host province, Ustaz Isa Ibrahim. Atuan, sabay ko riyaw na. Please join them. Okay. So, Sir Roa, yung chairman ng Pagadian, please, dito ka sa unahan. Una sa lahat, no, bago natin umpisahan yung ating maiksing programa, una ay nagpapasalamat tayo kay Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala na ginawa niya itong araw na ito, araw ng linggo, July 21, 2018, na tayo ay magkita-kita. Karamihan dito sa atin, ngayon pa lang tayo nagkita, di ba? Ngayon pa lang. So, alhamdulillah, may mga bisita rin po tayo galing sa probinsya ng Maguindanao. Nandito yung Provincial Vice Chairman ng Province of Maguindanao, Daturolly Karon. Daturolly, dito ka samahan. Dito ka. Kuha ka ng ito, bangko. Daturolly. And then, nandito yung aming ating City Chairman ng City of Cotabato. Walang iba, aming tinitingala doon. Kasi ito hanggang ngayon, mula noon sa MNLF, hanggang ngayon, hindi niya kami iniiwan. Itong tao na ito, bagamat may edad na siya, pero yung kanyang sigasig nandoon pa rin. Sa lahat ng bagay, sinusuportahan niya kami. Financial, moral, spiritual, lahat na. Papadatu Santi Karatuan. Please join them dito ka sa unahan. Diyan ka na? Sige yan si Papadatu Diyan nahihiya yan Okay, so si Papadatu, yan ang kung kilala niyo ang Lion Tiger, yan na siya, ang Lion Tiger noon ng MNLF. Yan sa Central Mindanao. Hindi lang Cotabato, yan na. Yan na ang Lion Tiger. Buhay na buhay pa. Kala niyo wala na tayong tiger? Nandyan pa. Okay. So, of course, mga bisita natin, nandito yung isa sa mga haligi rin ng MNLF, top 300. Nandito pa, malakas pa, nagpa-farm pa ito. 80 hectares ang farm nito, naiingit ako sa kanya Laki ng farm niya, productive na. Mga ilang araw dyan, milyonaryo na ito. Kasi hinarvest ng goma niya, rubber, yung kakao niya. Commander Muhammad Ali Carding, alias Carding. Di Manalaw, okay? Sir? Please stand up para makilala ka. Palakpakan natin si Commander Carding. Top 300 po yan. And of course, ang atin pong isa pa sa mga guests galing Cotabato na talagang pumunta dito to join us, to see, to express their support, sympathy sa atin at pagkikiisa dito sa revolution natin. Yung pong aming isang vice chairman dito, vice chairman ito ng Datu pero ang gusto ko sa kanya, i-elevate ito sa province, baka sa board dito, inshallah, dati or incumbent. Incumbent pala ito, barangay captain, Datu Adshar Wali. Okay, Datu Adjar? Yun. Palakpakan natin yan, batang-bata pa. So, yan po, no? At saka, mayroon po tayo kasama. Ito, maganda ito, Katuan. Magandang dynamic. Meron po tayo kasama na sila po yung nag-volunteer para ihatid si Bishop dito sa inyo. Imagine that. Pagkatapos kahapon doon sa Zamboanga, Peninsula, Zamboanga City, kasi yung inipon natin po doon ay yung mga kapatid natin from Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi. Maganda po ang nangyari doon. Talagang lahat nagbigay ng suporta dito sa ating pagkilos. So ito sila, bagamat mga kababaihan na grupo, pero ito yung pinaka matinik ng mga grupo doon sa Zamboanga City. Pasalamat tayo, nakuha natin, nabiglit natin. Kasi nakita nila ano yung dynamic nung samahan doon sa Basulta. So, nag-volunteer po sila hanggang sila yung naghatid sa ating guest papunta dito sa inyo. Di ko alam, baka pati Cagayan sila na rin ito maghatid o ano ba? Pag-usapan natin mamaya. Okay? So, pakilala ko, ang dating regional director lang naman po. Regional director ng Napolcom. Kaya lahat sa kalsada dumadaan kami, yung pulis nakasaludo sa amin. Si Director Namra Halis. Ma'am, please. Okay. Ganyan lang kaliit yan. Small but terrible. Regional director yan. Okay. Yung kanyang kasama, hindi ko na po ang pangalan, ma'am. Please, pakitayo na lang. Part po ng secretariat natin. Sa Basulta, Basilan, Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, I suggest ganun din ang gawin nyo dito sa Zamboanga Peninsula. Bumuo kami, sir, ng core group. Lahat ng information, lahat ng dyan namin sinicentralize. Meron kaming secretariat, may chairman yan, may treasurer kami, may secretary kami. So doon lahat ng information. Kasi magtatrabaho po tayo. Magre-recruit po tayo ng kasama down to barangay level. So kailangan may data banking tayo. Hindi po pwede mga pangalan mawala. Kailangan nandun sa atin ang pangalan ng mga kasama natin. Ang mangyari, kasama tayo lahat. Okay, so binuo namin yung core group, kasama yan sila. By the way, si Madam yung aming treasurer. Tsaka, saan siya dinudi? Yung chairman po ng core group namin, Provincial chairman ito ng Sulu. Sumama dito, naghatid ng guest natin dito sa inyo. Si Haji Noreen Kasim, nandun sa labas, mamaya ipakilala ko. Siya yung chairman ng core group namin doon. So I guess, siguro sa Zamboanga Peninsula, yung apat na Zamboanga, Zamboanga City, Sibugay, Del Sur, Del Norte, you can also talk and then create parang core group to centralize everything. Para lahat ng informasyon, gusto mo malaman, doon lang. Makuha na lahat. Okay? So, temporarily, ako muna ang tumatayo na parang secretariat. Ako na rin nagpiprint ng appointment. Ako na rin gumagawa ng program. Lahat na. Pero voluntary ito. After which, kung meron na, so i-turn over ko yan sa kanila. Kung ano man. Okay? So, inshallah, okay na siguro, napagkilala ko na lahat. Of course, yung tropa ni Kakatuan, no? Especially yung hindi pwedeng mahiwalay. Yun ang importante pakilala natin. Yung better half ng ating provincial chairman, si Madam, nandun sa likod. Nandito ba? Okay, yung asawa ni provincial chairman. Okay? Palakpakan natin si Madam. Very supportive. Kagabi dumating kami, alas 10 na, nandun pa rin sila naghintay para pakainin kami. Alas 10 na po kami dumating dito. Okay? So anyway, mag-umpisa tayo. Sige, maraming ustads. Sige, sinong makavolunteer sa atin? Pasensya na, hindi ko nakuha yung pangalan. We will start with an invocation. Any volunteers sa mga ustads natin? Inshallah. While yatafaddal masura. Invocation po, dua. Dito po sa dyan, may mic man dyan, may mic. Okay. May I request everybody to please rise.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
آمين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين.
آمين.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
آمين.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الحمد لله.
Alhamdulillah. Walhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Okay, so nag-request si National Polling Chairman na awitin natin ang ating pambansang awit, National Anthem. Okay, please rise. Bayang Magilyo, daawit. Bayang Magilyo, beresilabanan, alam ng puso, sa likid mo'y buhay, lupang hiniran, luyagan mamiting, sa manlulupig, ikapasisiin, sa nagagang pundo, sa simoy at sa langit mong bugaw, may ilagan tula at awis sa paglayo minamahal, ang isap ng matawat mo'y tagumpay na naniningning, ang bituin at araw niyang kailang pa may magdilim, lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo, ang ligaya may mga api ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Thank you very much. So maraming salamat. Ngayon po ay makinig tayo sa opening statement na ibibigay ng ating kasama. And at the same time, siguro welcome na rin. Walang iba, ang ating pong Provincial Chairman ng Zamboanga del Sur, Ustaz Isa Ibrahim.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yaumiddin wa ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
First of all, I welcome ko yung lahat na nandito at laking karangalan namin na una-una nakarating ang ating chairman, national chairman dito, si Bishop Tayag, at pagtulungan ng ating mga kasama from Zamboanga at Kabalu at Cotabato. Nakikita niyo nandito sila lahat. Ibig sabihin, kapit kamay at kapit bisig tayo ngayon sa ating adhikay na itaguyod ang revolutionaryong Duterte. Mga kapatid sa mga kababayan at saka kapatid sa Islam na nandito, ito na yung unang pagkakataon natin. Pagkakataon na natin ito na magkaisa tayo. Dahil sa mga naunang panahon ay puro tayo dada. Puro tayo dada, ito, dilawang ganito. Pero sa nakikita ko, hindi tumatalab ang dada sa kanila. Kaya dapat na sila mawala sa landas natin. Mga kapatid, itong revolutionary government ay ito yung implementation na nakikita natin. At kung meron pa naman tayong gusto mangyari, tulad ng BBL at sa kapitalismo, ito na yung daan. Kasi kung hindi natin ito ilalagay, walang mangyayari sa ating lipunan. Pasalamat tayo sa isang tao, nag-iisang tao sa mundo na ito, na lumaban sa United States, lumaban sa Amerika. Napakalit na mama. A very simple man na nakayanan niyang lumaban sa Amerika. Nakayanan niyang lumaban sa EU, sa Europe. Nakayanan niyang lumaban sa United Nations na walang nakagawa nito. maliban sa isang mamang ito na maliit. So we could call it, he is a gift of Allah to the Muslim and to the non-Muslim. Kaya pasalamat tayo sa Allah. Nakikita natin ang pagbabago. Ito na ang pagbabago na hinihintay natin. Kasi kung hindi tayo sumapi, ay kawawa rin ang ating mga anak. Habang buhay tayo, nililing lang. Nililing lang at ito lumabas na rin ang katotohanan. Anong sabi ni Duterte? I believe in one God. Your God is not my God. Your God is a stupid God. My God is perfect. And he declared himself, I believe in one God and I believe in Allah. At sa kasapat na yun para tayo ay sumama sa Kanya. Lalo na tayo mga Muslim. Kung meron man kaming pagkukulang dito sa Zamboanga, ay dahil sa, I was only given one week to organize. Pero nakikita ko, first week ng August, hanggang second week ng August ay kompleto na kami. We could have the 10 board members. Wala na kasing wala nang Congress. Alam niyo naman, ang revolutionary government ay wala ng Congress, walang Senate at walang Supreme Court. Kaya ito, kung martapang man tayo ngayon, dito na natin ipagplan ang ating katapangan. Dahil wala tayong nakikita. Wala tayong nakikita na pamamaraan except na pamamaraan ng ating mahal na presidente. So, mga kapatid, tama na siguro ang dada kasi baka pagkamalampat tayong bakla. Kapag puro tayo dada, i-atake sa kanila, hindi na sila tinatabla. So, ngayon, this is an implementation already. Kung ano magagawa natin sa transition period. Transition period na this is 3 years. Kung ano magagawa natin. So, dito tayo makikita, tulad ng sabi ni Presidente Duterte, kayong mga mayor dyan, kung hindi nyo kaya, mayroon pang mga criminals sa inyong lugar, alis na kayo. Ganon din ang gagawin natin. If Duterte is strict, we are more strict. We, especially with the Muslims here, we are more strict sa batas natin. So hanggang doon lang mga kapatid. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So maraming salamat sa opening statement, parang mensahe ni Chairman Ustaz Isa Ibrahim. Ang claimor ng buong Mindanao, actually, lahat ng naikutan namin na probinsya, ganun din. It's about time. Magbago na tayo. Yung nga, ang sentimento, saan-saan, doon sa Basolta, ganun din. Parang kung tingnan mo, tayo mga maliliit, ganito na lang. Yung mga malalaki, lalong nagpapalaki. Papalaki ng pangalan, papalaki ng, ano pa, bulsa? O, mga ganun, kasama na yon, di ba? So anyway, puproceed po tayo. Kanina ay nabanggit ko na yung mga nandito kasi ang sunod na part ay acknowledgement ng ating mga participants. So, na-acknowledge ko na at naipakilala ko na yung mga bisita natin. At isa sa mga hindi ko nabanggit, I'm sorry, yung pong nagko-cover sa atin. Malaking bagay ito. Alam nyo, ang ginawa po natin sa social media po tayo. Live tayo ngayon sa Facebook. Buong mundo yan. Nung ginawa namin sa Cotabato, pagka-afternoon, tinignan namin ang comment, more than, hindi ko alam kung ilang libo, 10,000, 20,000 yung comment, pumasok lahat pro-revolutionary government. Pero hindi yun nanggaling sa Pilipinas, ha? Mayroong Ontario, Canada, Australia, UAE, USA, Russia, etc. Yung mga OFW natin na nandoon sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo, nakikita tayo. So, bawal matulog. Pag naka-idlip ka dyan, makita ka buong mundo. Biro lang. Okay? So, of course, yung ating pong head ng ating social media affairs, walang iba, ang ating kasama si Camilo Melendez. Yan. Palakpakan natin. Pasensya na sir, ha? Nahuli yung pagka-introduce, pero yan daw ang pinakabida. Yung huli introduce, pinakabida yan. Okay, so sunod. Ngayon, ipapakilala ko naman yung mga nandito no sa ating pong attendance sheet, maliban doon sa nabanggit ko ng mga dignitaries natin, siyempre, bigyan natin ng recognition naman ng bawat isa. Si kasamang Eric Garcia ng Gipos, Zamboanga del Sur. Saan po si Sir? Ayan, palakpakan natin. Palakpakan natin ba? Para medyo, na, Carlito, ano po ito? Apelido? Ha? Ginon, okay. Pasensya na po yung writing. Carlito Ginon, San Miguel, Zamboanga City. Saan ito? Pagadian? Zamboanga. Zamboanga del Sur. San Miguel. Isang munisipyo ba ito? I see. Okay. Then Orlando Rua, chairman ng Pagadian City. Okay. Ito po ang ating city chairman. Di kayo nagulat? Rua? Kamag-anak ni Presidente kasama natin. Okay. Rua. And then Adam Andi, Dinas, Zamboanga del Sur. Yun. Sama natin. Ibrahim Ansang, Dinas, Zamboanga del Sur. Yes. Datu Sante Kadatuan, napakilala ko na kanina, Cotabato City. Melvin Alicos, Dinas. Okay. Sunod po si Isabelo M. Saruero. Midsal, ano ito? Midsalip, Zamboanga del Sur. Yes. Palakpakan natin. Rodel Bulak, Pagadian City. Okay. Sabato, Sabuero, Suminot, Zamboanga del Sur. Yes. Yunus di Kampung. Okay. Josepina. Munisipyo din yun. Okay. Isabelo Sabuero Jr. Arhats, Tambulig. Yung nagbigay ng dua sa atin. Okay. Julfikar Hasim. Ano ito siya? Artilim. Wow. Artilim. Yan ba ang pinakadulo ng Sibugay? Boundary with Zamboanga City? Tungawan. Okay. Mauna pa lang Tungawan, no? Papunta dito. Artilim. Abdul Hari Jainuddin, Tungawan. Ito. Magkakasunod sila. Pasensya na ha. Yung pagbasa, yung sulat kasi. Si, ano ito? Islia Yusuf. Tapudok, Labangan. Yes, madam. Palakpakan natin si Kagi. Abdul Kahar Angas, Mahayag, Zamboanga del Sur. Yes. Carlito Ginon? Junior. May senior pala. Senior yung kanina, junior yung ngayon. Gipos, Zamboanga del Sur. Eutikio Dano Senior. Mulabi, Zamboanga del Sur. Okay, so wala na ba? Natawa ko na lahat? Pangalanan na lahat. Okay. So, yun po ang nandito, no? Nakasulat sa ating attendance sheet. So, ito po ay magsisilbing basis po natin na ginawa natin itong araw na ito. I-turn over po namin ito sa National Secretariat. Lahat po ng ginagawa natin nandoon, naka-centralize doon. So, yung pangalan natin nandoon, naka-record na tayo ay kasali dito sa programa ngayong araw na ito. So, without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, ngayon po ay makinig tayo sa mensahe ng ating facilitator, ang tawag namin. Sapagkat kung titingnan mo, ang kanyang area of coverage po ay AARM. Siya ay regional chairman ng AARM. Pero bakit nandito kami? Pati hindi na area ng AARM. Sapagkat ipinagkatiwala po ni Bishop Tayag ng ating National Founding Chairman yung mga ibang mga areas outside the RMM, kasama na po kayo doon. So, kaya nandito kami, nakikita nyo. Yung AARM, kumbaga AARM Executive Councils, no? Nagpa-facilitate lang po kami. Pero later on, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, pag okay na kayo, so you will be on your own, inshallah ta'ala. Tulad ng sinuggest ko kanina, magbuo kayo ng isang Zamboanga Peninsula core group para doon kayo mag-usap-usap. Selected lang yun, at least one per province siguro, representative. So, ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, please welcome for his message the Regional Chairman of AARM Regional Executive Council, Mustapha Kabalu.
Syukran na masipag na brother si Noreen, Professor Noreen Pallong from Basilan. He is the Vice Chair of the Alternative AARM, Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. I-explain namin konti mamaya. Siyempre po ang ating mga guest andito sa presidential table, other honored guest, visitors, yung mga si director yan, no? Driver namin na magaling, former director ng Napolcom. Mga kapatid, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We don't want to be misinterpreted that we might be accused of invasion, invading other areas outside of the ARMM. As explained by Brother Noreen, we are supposed to focus our attention in the ARMM area. But I think it is a call of time that those boundaries, I mean this urgency, the urgency of the situation transcend boundary. Hindi po dapat nating kinukompute yan sa boundary. Bagkus, yung pong ating pinaka-ultimate objective for this itong situation na ito, itong development na ito, na kailangan po tayong mag-react at solidify ng ating mga position, concretize our move for the betterment of our people and community in this part of the country. And so, yung pong mga haka-haka sa issue na ito, itong Revolusyong Duterte for a revolutionary government will be explained to us by our guests later. Wala kami sa better position to explain to you, but sa kanya mismo natin maririnig yung mga bagay na ito. Ang sa amin lamang ay probably naririnig ninyo sa mga radio, television, itong mga development na ito. And sa tansya namin, aming nakikita at nararamdaman, nafe-feel namin na sa panahong ito, kailangan po natin saluhin natin itong development na ito, sapagkat ito lamang yung pagkakataon na nakikita natin na makamit natin yung pong ating minimiting development, prosperity, so on and so forth dito sa ating community na matagal nating inaasam-asam. Why? Because meron tayong presidente na ganito, bagamat ang sabi ng iba, pangit ang bunganga, but do not rely on doon sa mga balita mo, salita na yan. Look at the substance, yung pong pinaka-substansya ng mga pangyayari, yun yung tingnan natin. Yan yung kapantakanan na yung mga mitya-mitya mo, yung mga pero wala mo rin kanilan, dito sa kwan, santa sa ulo rin nan, santa tabunan ka, santa wa aran makwata doon. And so, kaya po kami yan, banganggat namin si Kano, surapan makasapot sa mapya. Diyan masama tanong, sa patunten tanong yung mga taga-prata niya. Sa kamantano niya, situation niya sa dikira biwangan. Kaya kanamantang kawanan mo ka, we will embrace it tightly so that hindi pwede mabitawan. We should not let this situation become loose. Instead, we shall embrace it with our heart, mind, and action. Yun yung pinaka-importante. We should be ready for any eventuality. Sapagkat kung hindi tayo kikilos, wala pong kikilos para sa atin. Nasa atin ang gawa. Nasa Diyos ang tulong. Finally. So, yung ARMM, we organize it as an alternative autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao, sapagkat nakikita nga natin na matagal na itong sigalot, yung dispute between the MNLF and the MLF, notwithstanding the intervention of the President, talking to the leaders, MNLF, MLF, and other leaders for that matter. But it appears that they cannot come up with a better position. They cannot agree on the formula on how to address the problem. Every group sumasagwan kung ano ito, they are ano tawag ito, pagkayod, kumakayod ang bawat grupo. Hindi nila alintana yung ibang grupo. In other words, they cannot agree. They cannot agree. Kinausap na sila ng Pangulo. Walang nangyari. And so, as fair advice of Bishop Nilo Tayag, sabi niya, kailangan magkaroon tayo ng alternative formula, alternative shadow government that will run parallel to the RMN. And in case the revolutionary government will assume, take over, and then we are ready to introduce and impose a better formula for our community and people. Ang formula na yan ay madali lang maintindihan sapagkat yung pong Lanao people, meron tayong sub-state for the Maranao, Nigiri for Maranao, Nigiri for Tausug, and for Maguindanao. Of course, this is only for ARMM. Kaya nga, ayaw namin ma-misinterpret niyo kami, bagamat there are a lot of Muslim community in Zamboanga Peninsula, so that nagkaroon ng medyo agam-agam dito sapagkat kayo nasa labas. But hindi naman ibig sabihin kayo nasa labas, hindi na tayo alyansa, we work hand in hand together for the betterment of our community. Kailangan po natin, lalo po nating tibayin ang ating ugnayan sapagkat nasa labas na nga kayo, pero bunag kayo sa lipad, tambi lang bibig. So much for that siguro. Bagamat yun na nga, ang ARMM ay nakikita nga natin na marami pong oportunidad dyan, but hindi po natin pinakinabangan ng gusto dahilan sa nagkaroon na nga ng controversy dito sa ARMM ito. So we are hoping na pag nagkaroon tayo ng alternative authority government sa ARMM, naka-ready po tayo, inshallah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Maraming salamat. Ating pinaka-famous ito noon. Hanggang ngayon famous. Brother Ed Kabalu. Dito na ako sir kasi nagpiprint po ako So anyway, before proceeding, i-acknowledge po natin, may mga kasama rin po tayo dito coming from the Sultanate of Rajabuayan, Darussalam. Kasama na natin ang Sultanate Haji Datu Giumla Imba Dalimbang IV. Please rise, sir. Ito, palakpakan po natin. Haji Datu Muhammad Abbas Kimbu Dimasangkay Abdil Sabuayan. Yun. Palakpakan po natin. Okay, maraming salamat po mga Ginoo sa pagdalo sa atin pong programa ngayong araw na ito. So, mamaya lang yung mga bagong dating pag-turn over sa akin ng mga attendance sheet para ma-acknowledge po natin. At this point in time, dadako na po tayo sa isa sa mga highlights ng ating activity. Pina-pattern po namin ito nung nag-umpisa tayo sa Cotabato. Hindi na namin binago. Ganito na talaga ang proseso. No? After magsalita yung mag-open and then mag-message, tuloy na tayo. Diretso na tayo sa purpose. Bakit tayo nandito? Para ipakita na talagang sang-ayon tayo at kasama tayo dito sa pagbabago na isusulong natin through a revolutionary government ay yung ating pong panunumpa. Diba? Manunumpa tayo kay Allah, manunumpa tayo sa organisasyon na gagampanan natin ang mga tungkulin. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, may I call the contingents of Zamboanga del Sur kasi sila yung nandito. Later on siguro ang Zamboanga del Norte and Zamboanga Sibugay, kasi yung provincial chairman lang ang nandito, nagsuggest ako sa kanila dalawa to have a common date also para ma-administer natin yung pagtayo ng mga kamay ng mga kasama natin. But at this point siguro, pwede itong dalawang provincial chairman bishop na kasali na sila, no? Dito sa pag-oath siguro. Or later na. Yung dalawa, yung Sibugay at saka Norte. Pero yung Sur na muna ngayon. Okay, sige po. Okay, so may I call everybody, yung contingent po ng Zamboanga del Sur, lahat ng municipal chairman. Mag-linya po tayo dito sa unahan. Magkasya ba? Magkasya, Brother Camilo? Harap na lang po tayo doon kay Bishop. Doon na lang si Bishop siguro. Oh, yun. So, maybe 2 or 3 line. Oh, sige po. Tayo kayo, lahat ng taga Zamboanga del Sur. Headed by our provincial chairman, Ustad Ibrahim.
Nakastin yung kanang kamay at nakasikol ang kamao. Pag-ibig yung pangalan niya. Ako. Si. Ang pangalan. Naitalaga sa katungkulan bilang katungkulan niya. Ay taimtim na nanunumpa. Nagagampanan ko ang aking kasalukuyang katungkulan sa ilalim ng alutuntunin at adhikain ng Rebolusyong Duterte para sa isang revolutionary government. Aking itataguyod ang prinsipyo at adhikain na kinakatawan at pinagkikipaglaban nitong samahan sa ilalim ng paniniwala ng bawat isa ay may mahalagang tungkulin at papel sa ating lipunan. Kasihanawa ako ng Diyos. Palakpakan po natin.
Okay, maraming salamat. Congratulations. So, kasi po tayo ulit sa ating mga upuan.
So, wala na ibang group.
Wala na. Yung Zamboanga Norte at saka Zamboanga Sibugay, i-discuss na lang po natin mamaya. Siguro isang date, isang petsa para sa inyo, common. Saan tayo magtagpo? Sa Ipil or saan ang convergent ng dalawang area niya? I think Ipil ata, no? Ipil, no? Sige, pag-usapan mamaya. Anyway, at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, dadako na tayo sa pinaka-highlights nitong ating pagtitipon ay yung pakikinig po natin sa mensahe, inspirational message ng ating guest. Kasama na dyan yung pagpapaliwanag niya sa atin. Ano ba ang sitwasyon ng bansa natin? Bakit kailangan natin gawin ito? Sitwasyong pang-political, pang-ekonomiya, pang-kultura, lahat na. Kasi si Bishop, nakailang speech na ito narinig ko talagang nasa utak niya lahat eh. So walang reason na hindi tayo sasama sa adikain na dala niya sapagkat alam niya paano ang sitwasyon at saan na tayo. Ang mahirap niyan eh, bukas pagkagising natin lumulubog ng Pilipinas, kasama rin tayo. So wag natin hayaan yun, ha? Okay ba? Hip hip! Hooray! Ayun. Pala ko, wawawin lang meron. Pati dito, meron pala. Okay, please welcome our very own National Founding Chairman, Bishop Nilo S. Tayag.
Binabati ko ang mga siwa sa ating pasinaya at sa ating affair ngayong araw na ito. At una-una po, nagbibigay kalang ako sa ating regional chair ng Alternative Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao sa amumuno ni Datu Mustapha A. Kabalu. Palakpakan po natin. At ang kanyang masipag at talinong Vice Chairman ng Alternative Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. So yung ating kasalukuyang MC at siya din ang namamahala sa Secretariat, si Vice Chairman Noreen Pallong. Gusto ko po rin, hindi ko naman kayo wag ang pagkitlat ang pangalan. Gusto ko lang yan ang panggit si Ustad Ezra Ibrahim na nandito sa presidential table. Pinapakan po natin, Chairman ng Provincial Zamboanga. Nandito rin po si Habib Jarabab Hashim, ang Chairman ng Samno Sibugay. Nandito po ang si Datu Santi Kadatua. Palakpakan po natin. At ang Commander Muhammad Ali, Commander Kadri, 300. At ako'y natutuwa sa nakikilala kong mga mandirigma, mga huling mandirigma na nanggaling sa MNLF at saka sa MILF. At nandito rin po si Sharif Adzar Sarahadil, ating chairman ng Zamboanga del Norte. Nandito po si Daturolly Karon ng Maguindanao. Pasensya na po na sa mga hindi ko napakita mga pangalan, kailangan naman kanina ng ating MC, ang lahat ng mga delegado nandito at nilinaw naman nila na hindi naman sinasakop ang inyong inisyatiba ng alternative arm. Pero nakikita naman ninyo ang konsepto. Nagsimula kami sa North Cotabato, nagpunta kami sa Sultan Kudarat, nagpunta kami sa Maguindanao. Pero doon sa Maguindanao, siyempre nagsimula na yung konsepto ng isang alternative arm, Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. And then tumuloy kami dito sa Basulta, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi, which are also integral parts of the alternative arm. And of course, pinagpatuloy namin dito sa Western Mindanao Council. Ibig ko sabihin ay ang pagpapatuloy at pagtayo ng mga provincial councils dito sa Zamboanga del Sur, Zamboanga del Norte, Sibugay, upang sa ganon, mabuo na sa buong Mindanao ang Rebolusyong Duterte for a revolutionary government. I always consider it when I'm speaking before you, I always consider it that today, as the other days, as yesterday, as historic days for the emergence of a new day for all of us, our Muslim brothers, our Christian brothers, and the Lumans of not only in Mindanao, but all Filipinos from Luzon and Visayas. The first thing that I would like to discuss to you is that I would like to clarify my own position in relation to what President Duterte says, the historic injustice against our Muslim brothers, Muslim Filipinos in Mindanao. So I would like to state very clearly that before even Andres Bonifacio, Jose Rizal, and Marcelo del Pilar and company had the musings and imaginings of a nation state for the Filipino people, and they were not even given the privilege, at the time it was a privilege, it was not a pejorative term, but the word Filipino refers to the Peninsulares and the Insulares, the Spaniards born in the Iberian Peninsula and the Spaniards born in the Philippines, that they are called Insulares. So those are the Filipinos. By the accident of history, the word Filipino was appropriated by the Indios. Even the group of Dr. Jose Rizal and attorney Marcelo H. del Pilar was constituted. It was named Los Indios Bravos, the brave Indios, the brave Indians. Ang ibig sabihin ng Los Indios Bravos, because they were the ones who initiated the Filipino ideology, or the concept of a nation and the concept of a state. The historic injustice that President Duterte refers to are the massacres and the different isolationist policies and the different persecution of our brother Muslims in the hands of Spanish colonialism and in the hands of American imperialism. But I would like to state that we derive, the people in Luzon who started the Filipino nation state, derive inspiration from the fact that long before the conquistadores who met resistance in Manila, in the hands of Raja Sulaiman and the other Muslim leaders there, it was in the hands of the Muslim leaders in Manila that there was strong resistance against rule. The struggle in Luzon and in the Visayas derived very clear inspiration from your experience. As long before we have started the 1892 founding by Andres Bonifacio of the Katipunan, the kataas-taasang kagalang-galangang mga katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan, the Muslim states are already thriving civil societies. Palakpakan po natin. And it is for that reason na tinatnan ng Spanish colonialism and American imperialism itong mga Muslim states na to, itong mga communities na ito who have already been established as nation states. So, the first thing that I would like to state here is to define the word revolution para mas madali tayo. Ang revolusyon ay pag-aalsa, pagbabangon, at pagtatagumpay ng mga dating mga inaapi, pinagsasamantalahan, at sinusuppress ng mga naghaharing mga uri. In short, revolution, the word revolution has always been associated with something that is bloody, that's something that is violent. In this revolution that we are now talking about, this will be a peaceful, non-violent revolution. Okay. Just for the record, ang salitang revolusyon ay nanggaling sa mechanical engineering, no? Mechanics. Isang rev, isang ikot ng gulong, isang ikot ng makina. Revolution per minute, RPM, ang alam natin sa salitang revolution. In other words, it is a 360-degree turn. But if you are turning, if you borrow the concept from mechanical engineering and you use it in the realm of political science, ang konsepto niyan ay paikot-ikot lamang, 360-degree turn. Ang mga political scientists explain it in this way. This is not just a 360-degree turn na sa isang plane, but it is moving upwards in a spiral. In a spiral. So progression. In other words, pataas ng pataas, reaching a higher stage of development. So, pag sinabi natin nagkaroon ng revolusyon, ang mga mahihirap sa ating lipunan, ang mga manggagawa, ang mga magsasaka, ang mga maliliit na may lupa, ang mga maliliit na negosyante, ang mga maralit ang tagalusod at maralit ang sa kanayunan, ay mabibigyan ng panibagong kalagayan sa kanilang buhay. Magkakaroon sila ng kaginhawaan, magkakaroon sila ng development o kaunlaran sa kanilang pamumuhay. So, tinitingnan natin, ang ating mga Muslim communities noon, bago dumating ang Kastila, bago dumating ang mga Amerikano, they were thriving communities. Pero, ang mga communities ng mga Tagalog, mga communities ng Kapampangan, at saka mga Ilocano, at saka mga Visayas, these communities developed on their own. Meaning, ironically, it was Spanish colonialism that put them together. Hindi katulad ng mga Muslim communities, the ideology of Islam was the uniting force. Dito sa Luzon, ang mga communities dito were forged not by just the common religion which was imposed on them, which was Christianity, kundi yung control ng Spanish colonialism sa kanila. So, from the concept of a territorial, one territory under Spanish colonialism, dun pa lang nag-evolve of what we call the Filipino ideology, the Filipino nation, and then the Filipino state. Okay? Kaya kailangan titingnan ninyo ang ating mga kapatid na Kristiyano in that context, in that historical context. The word Moro has become a pejorative term because so many hundreds of years, Spain was a colony of Islam. Tatandaan ninyo yan, kaya mayroong element ng vengeance on the part of Spanish colonialism. Kaya nung maliliit kami, naikwento ko madalas, pag ikaw ay malikot at salbahe, ikaw ay parang Moro, sasabihin ng mga magulang namin. So makikita ninyo na at saka ang mga sarswela, ang mga drama, at saka mga kwento na pinanunood ng mga Christian brothers natin dito sa Luzon at saka mga Visayas, the Moros are always depicted as the enemies. Not only the enemies of the state, but the enemies of the different communities. So napakalaki ng agwat na inabot natin ngayon, na dinot na natin ngayon, na tayo ay nagkakaisa ngayon. That is why it is a historic day. The word Filipino is also a pejorative term and a source of insult to the Filipino people. But the Belgian Congo has already become Zimbabwe. Ceylon has already become Sri Lanka. The Burma has already become Myanmar. But the problem is, this is the regret I have with President Marcos, that at the height of his power, he should have proclaimed that the name of the Philippines was the People's Republic of Maharlika, instead of the Philippines being named after a King Philip II of Spain, who was not actually who did not actually have a good record as a King of Spain. So be that as it may, there is a saying that we should all learn to turn bad things into a good thing. what is in the name? What is nomenclature? As the saying goes, what is in the name? If a rose would smell as sweet, there is no problem in the name. But it is very important in the history of a nation. In the case of Chairman Nur Miswari, when we were students at the University of the Philippines, we were discussing about what is the appropriate term. Kasi Datu Ugtog Matalang has already formed the Mindanao independence movement, and he never used the word Moro. Anong gagamitin natin? Sabi ni Nur Miswari. Hindi, sabi ko, sinabi naman ng isang philosopher na pareho nating inahangaan. Sabi ko kay kasamang Nur, sabi ko, when I was national chairman of the Kabataang Makabayan and I succeeded as Sema-Resisor, Nur Miswari was the regional chairman of Western Mindanao of Kabataang Makabayan. So, we were discussing the problem, and I said, but we should turn the word Moro, which is pejorative and at the same time sometimes a word of insult, into a revolutionary and a dignified, a source of our honor and dignity as a people. And so he did Moro, he did loans, at about the same time that we founded and re-established the Communist Party of the Philippines and the New People's Army, and then the National Democratic Front. Nur had already established the Moro National Liberation Front. And the rest, of course, as they say, is history. Ang ibig ko sabihin, kahit na yung sumunod na organisasyon, Moro Islamic Liberation Front, MILF, used the word Moro. Kaya maging sa kasalukuyan, ang salitang Moro ay hindi na isang salitang pag-insulto sa ating lahi, pag-insulto sa isang bansa, kundi dahilan sa record nito sa pakikibaka, dahilan sa record ninyo mga mandirigma, mga nandito isang karangalan para sa akin na ma-meet ko kayo, makilala ko kayo, kayong mga uring mandirigma ng MNLF at saka ng MILF na nakibaka, ay ipinagkakapuri ko at isang malaking karangalan para sa akin na kayo ang nagbigay ng karangalan at dignidad sa salitang Moro. Mabuhay ang Moro National Liberation Front at saka Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Ganon din naman sa salitang Pilipino. Hindi nga napalitan ang pangalang Pilipino ng Maharlika, People's Republic of Maharlika, dahil President Marcos was overtaken by events and he was kidnapped by the Americans in 1986. Pero ganun pa man, pinagpatuloy namin ang pagpapalaganap ng Filipino ideology, pinagpatuloy namin ang pagpapalaganap ng nabuong from 1892 to 1896 or from 1896 to 1901 when the Americans established control of the Philippines. That was the period of greatness. And President Marcos would say, this nation can be great again. And many Filipinos were questioning him and said, when were we ever be great as a people? And then he would answer, if it does not even enter your mind that we could become a great people, we shall never become a great people. Ganun din naman sa atin. Ang kadakilaan natin bilang isang laki, kapag hindi man pumasok sa ating isip at lalong hindi pumasok sa ating puso at kaluluwa, kailanman ay hindi tayo magiging isang dakilang bansa. Kaya sa pagkakataon ito, tayong lahat ay nanunumpa na magiging dakila ang Bangsa Moro ang bansa na na-establish nila. At maging ang bansang Pilipino ay magiging dakila. At darating din ang panahon, marahil pagkatapos tayo ang isang revolutionary government, ay magiging isang dakilang People's Republic of Maharlika. So much for that. Babalik ako sa salitang revolusyon. Ang salitang revolusyon ay umiikot ng 360 degrees, but not on the same plane, but moving on to a higher plane. Ito ang concept niya. That is why we say that the masses of our Muslim brothers have also become victims of traditional politics and traditional politicians. In the same manner that our Christian brothers were also victims, the masses of our Christian brothers were also victims of the Ilustrados, who took over the group of Bonifacio, Rizal, and company. The conservative Ilustrados, who became the traditional politicians, mind you, from 1896, Aguinaldo, up to Aquino III, that is 120 years of rule of the Trapos in our country, including our Muslim brothers in Mindanao. Mayroong grupo ng mga oligarko na nag-develop mula pa kay Aguinaldo hanggang sa kasalukuyan, lalong lumakas ang kanilang kapangyarihan. And the biggest argument for a revolutionary government is the fact that only 50 families control 85% of the wealth of this country. The oligarchs. Pinagagalaw nila. Kontrolado nila ang lahat ng eleksyon. Kontrolado nila, if you control the economy, you control the politics of a country. Kontrolado nila ang kultura. Kontrolado nila ang mass media. Kaya tayo ay nagdi-develop ng ating sariling social media. Sapagkat hindi nila pinapublish, hindi nila inilalathala ang ating mga ginagawa sa kasalukuyan. Ba't hindi naman natin sa kanila pinaalam? Sa sambayanang Pilipino natin natin pinaalam ang mga ginagawa natin ngayon. Sapagkat sila ang minumulat natin upang ang buong Pilipinas makapagtayo tayo ng mga provincial council, regional councils, provincial councils, city councils, municipal councils, and barangay council. So, maunawaan ninyo. Bakit Duterte? Nakasabayan din namin po si President Duterte. Nung siya ay may expel mula sa Davao, Ateneo de Davao, for some reasons, siya ay pinadala ng tatay niya sa Lyceum of the Philippines. Ang kabataan mga bayan nun, magkakasama kami ni Noreen at saka ni Jose Maria Sison. Nagturo sa UP, pagkatapos ng masteral degree, si Noreen Ganun naman si Jose Maria Sison nagturo sa Lyceum of the Philippines at ako naman ay nagturo sa University of the East in order for us to expand the nationalist youth, the kabataang mga bayan. And that was the time when Duterte became a student of Jose Maria Sison, who was then organizing also the kabataang mga bayan. And it was in the Lyceum of the Philippines that Duterte embraced the cause of nationalism and democracy na hindi naman naiiba sa Philippinism. Gusto ko linawin na nung sinabi niya that if you destroy the Filipino family, if you destroy the Filipino youth, I will kill you. Ang ibig sabihin nun, he recognizes that the supreme value of a Filipino ideology is none other than the Filipino as a family and as a youth and as an entity. Pangalawa, he learned na tayo dapat ang hari sa sariling bayan, an independent foreign policy, sa pamamagitan ng kanyang panukala na hindi tayo kailanman didiktahan ng sino pa mang mga dayuhan sa ating bayan. Pangalawa, na tayo ang may-ari ng ating kabuhayan at ang ating likas na kayamanan. And we are all moving through a revolutionary government for the eventual and ultimate preponderance and predominance of the Filipino in his own economy, of our own Muslim brothers in Mindanao, in the Mindanaoan economy, and in the Mindanaoan culture. Palakpakan po natin ang mga Muslim brothers. And so, Duterte, while he belongs to the ruling class, to the trapos, na pinagagalaw ng mga oligarkos, he turned against his own class. And pinatunayan niya nung nahalal siya noong 2016 by an overwhelming majority of 16 billion. And there's supposed to be another 5 billion kung hindi nagkaroon ng Smartmatic. 21 million people voted actually for Duterte. He turned against his own class. Anak siya ng isang dating cabinet member ni Marcos. Anak siya ng isang gobernador dati ng Kalakhang Davao. And yet, he turned against his own class. Kaya natin tinatawag itong revolusyon para sa masa ng sambayanan at saka Duterte ang pangalan sapagkat kinakatawan ni Duterte ang isang ideolohiya para sa sambayanang Pilipino. Palakpakan po natin yan. Kaya revolusyon Duterte. In the light of all this program of Duterte, he wants to carry out a revolution. But the existing political system, the political institutions are flawed and dysfunctional. Meaning, under the present system, which was not only warped by colonialism and imperialism, alam ninyo, ang inimpose sa atin ng mga Kano, ang inimpose sa atin ng mga Kastila, na warp lalo ang Filipino character. One, the institutions and the structures, the political structures that they have created and imposed on us, American laws, American legal system, American jurisprudence, American educational system, American Hollywood, etc., etc. Ito po ang mga nagaharing ideology ngayon sa ating bayan at nagpapakilos na official ideology ng mga trapo. So in short, ito ang kailangan maalis sa ating consciousness at papalitan natin ng ating sarili. Naniniwala man tayo sa Islam, naniniwala man tayo sa Kristyanismo, tayo ay magkakaisa sa isang ideolohiya na nagbubuklod-buklod sa lahat ng mga Pilipino upang sa ganon, magpaglaban tayo ng isang revolutionary government para sa lahat ng ating mga mamamayan. So you would understand that Duterte turned against his own class, and that is why there is Revolution Duterte. Now, why revolutionary government? Hindi niya kailanman masosolve ang napakalaking illegal drugs problem kung walang revolutionary government. Corruption has pervaded our entire society from the lowest class to the highest echelons of our society. Paano niya masasagupa ito? Ang mga pumipigil sa kanya, mga TROs, pinipigil na siya ng mga magagaling na abogado. All the best law firms in the country are employed by the drug lords who are in cahoots also with the traditional politicians. Many traditional politicians are also in cahoots with the drug lords, or they are drug lords themselves. And many of these oligarchs, if they are not in cahoots with the drug lords, are drug lords themselves. How can you fight that with the present system and with the present legal system? That is why we need a revolutionary government. Corruption. So, mula sa pinakamaliit at pinakamababang janitor hanggang sa pinakamataas na direktor ng lahat ng mga departamento. 1.5 million Filipinos in the bureaucracy. Yung hindi corrupt, ang exception to the rule. And the rule is that most of these functionaries and employees of the government are all corrupt. Hindi ako personal naming karanasan dito. Number 3, the electoral process. Kayo mismo, mga kapatid, our Muslim brothers, kayo ay biktima ng mga trapo. You have your own version of trapos. Kaya nga, kami, ni Datu Mustapha at Kabalu, pinag-usapan namin, paano tayo makakawala sa kontrol ng mga trapo, maging sa hanay ng ating mga kapatid na Muslim. Sa matagal na panahon, mula rin kay Aguinaldo hanggang kay Aquino III, 120 years. Ang mga pondo ng pamahalaan ay palagi nilang binubulsa, at ang pondo na dapat magawa para sa public works at saka sa benepisyo ng mga masa ng sambayanan ng ating mga Muslim na kapatid ay hindi napupunta sa kanila. So the alternative arm will show to the present arm as it is constituted, and kung paano dapat pamahalaan ang autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao. We will show them. Mula pa sa ating kapatid na Chairman Nur Miswari, under the Tripoli Agreement, kailangan ipakita natin sa kanila ang isang alternatibong arm. Katulad din ng babanggitin ko mamaya na isang alternatibong burokrasya, isang alternatibong local government system or local government units, isang alternatibong judiciary, isang alternatibong legal and advisory systems for the president. So, we are talking here of a revolutionary government. A revolutionary government under the present circumstances, under the present historical and political conjuncture of our country today, makes use of two great revolutions. Number 1, the concept of a revolution by the masses of the people. The right to revolution of any people. The right to self-determination of any people. That any time that they are exploited, that they could no longer bear the burden of repression and suppression by the ruling classes, it is the right of all peoples to rebellion and to revolution. And the other great right that we are confronted with today is the right of the state to preserve itself. The right of Duterte to defend the state as it is constituted. So there is now a convergence between the right to revolution. Nagtatagpo ang karapatang magrevolusyon natin at nagtatagpo ang karapatan ni Digong para ipreserba at protektahan ang Estado. It is a peaceful and non-violent revolution because we are not removing a sitting president. Hindi natin inaalis ang nakaupong presidente. Hindi katulad ng EDSA 1, hindi katulad ng EDSA 2, hindi katulad ng EDSA 3. Inaalis nila ang nakaupong presidente. Dito, hindi natin inaalis ang nakaupong presidente, bagkus pinalalakas nila natin ang kapangyarihan niya sa pamamagitan ng isang revolutionary government. Dadagdagan natin ang kanyang kapangyarihan, legislative powers, aalis sila ang Kongreso, aalis sila ang Senado, upang sa ganoon, bigyan sila upang ang karapatang gumawa ng mga batas sa pamamagitan ng mga Council of Advisors natin. Tatayo tayo ng Council of Advisors, i-advise siya ng alternative arm, i-advise siya ng mga sectoral organizations, mga labor at saka peasant organizations, a-advise siya ng mga legal luminaries from our ranks upang sa ganon makagawa siya ng mga batas. How can the present Congress that is composed of 85% dynasties and 85% landlords and capitalists, how can they legislate for and in behalf of the Filipino workers and the Filipino peasants, the urban and rural poor? They will never do anything. Hahawak sila ng isang bato para ipukpok sa kanilang sariling ulo. Malayong mangyayari yan. Sa pamamagitan lang ng isang revolutionary government natin makagagawa ng mga batas na para sa mga manggagawa at para sa magsasaka at para sa mga isla. So there is a convergence. Nagtatagpo ang revolusyon, the right to revolution, and the right of the state to preserve itself. If digong is a gift to the Filipino people only once in a century, this opportunity that is happening in our country today, let us not squander the next 4 years of Duterte. Let us take advantage of this historic opportunity and chance, once in a lifetime chance, para makapag-revolusyon tayo sapagkat matagal na maghihintay naman ang mga susunod na salindahin ng ating bayan kapag hindi pa natin hinawakan ito. Nakahanda ba kayong hawakan ito, ang revolutionary government na ito?
Handa!
Yes! Kung ganoon, huwag nating waldasin ang susunod na 4 na taon na ito. Magkakaroon ng BBL, padidibatihin na naman ang BBL sa Supreme Court. Didibatihin na naman dito sa referendum. Didibatihin na naman ang federalismo, yung federal draft of a federal constitution, na walang hanggang debate ng debate ng debate. Hanggang habang sila'y nagdidebate, tayo naman ay mag-oorganisa sa bawat. So yun ang gagawin natin. The next component, the first component of revolutionary movement is an overwhelming mass movement and overwhelming clamor, which is the element of a right to revolution. We will exercise the peoples of we are a republican state. Sovereignty resides in the people, and all government authority emanates from them. Sinusunod lang natin yon sa makapangyarihang taong bayan. And then the second element, and the second component of a revolutionary government is the armed forces of the Philippines and the Philippine National Police. Marami tayong force multipliers. Why? Because in the final analysis, saan ba papanig si Nur Miswari? Saan ba papanig si Alhaj Morad ng MILF? Kundi tutulong din dito kay Digong, kay Duterte, sa revolutionary government. Marami rin mga dating NPA na sa New People's Army tinayo namin ni Jose Resison na gusto lang pumunta at sumuporta kay Duterte at saka sa revolutionary government. Maraming mga dating HMB of the old PKP, Partido Komunista ng Pilipinas, na sumasama din dito sa. The Guardians, who number around 8 million, will provide the people's militia of the AFP and the PNP. Marami tayong naikuwento ko na madalas na nakapag-lecture ako sa military, sa AFP at saka sa PNP, at the lecture ko ang Filipino ideology sa kanila, namulat sila. 7 million Marcos loyalists will be a force multiplier for us. 8 billion guardians all over the country will be a force multiplier for us. And of course, our Muslim brothers, who will number around 5 to 7 million in this country, yun din ang magiging force multiplier ng isang overwhelming mass movement and an overwhelming clamor for a revolutionary government. So, yung ating mga kapatid sa AFP, mga kapatid natin sa PNP, at saka Digong will be the commander-in-chief. He'll be the commander, hindi lalagyan ng in-chief. He'll be the commander of all the armed forces of the Philippines. Yun ang title niya. Supreme leader of the revolutionary government, as well as the commander of all the armed forces of the Philippines. Yung go ang yung magiging title under a revolutionary government. And the third component will be the political component, at dito makikita ang papel ninyong gagampanan. Lagi namin sinasabi sa inyo, huwag na tayong mag-aksaya ng panahon. From the provincial level, i-organize na natin ang provincial council ng REBRO, down to the city council, down to the municipal council, and down to the barangay council. Because the moment the revolutionary government is proclaimed, we have the duty to take over the capital, the city hall, and at saka ang armed forces ay titingin lamang sa atin at saka yung PNP, sapagkat karamihan sa kanila ay sumusuporta sa isang revolutionary government. Kaya we will follow the 3 C's in picking up and selecting your leaders. You see to it that they are committed. Number 1, that they are committed to the revolution of Duterte for a revolutionary government. Totally committed. Number 2, that they are clean. Yung pipiliin ninyo ay walang kaso sa illegal na droga, walang kaso sa corruption, at walang kaso sa kriminalidad. And pangatlong C, that they are competent to run these local governments. Napalagay ko, we will not run out of people who will be able to run the local governments. The alternative, the parallel, and the shadow local governments. The Council of Advisors of Vigo, nabanggit ko na. And then, the alternative judicial system. Isang grupo ng mga magagaling na abogado who will be ready to take over the judiciary whenever Vigo is determined na maraming katiwalian ang nangyayari sa judiciary. And then, of course, the 1.5 million bureaucracy kapag mayroong mga katiwalian nangyayari dyan. In short, hindi naman magkakaroon ng chaos and disorder sapagkat meron tayong military, meron tayong people's militia, meron tayong nagtutulong-tulong to maintain law and order, and at the same time, we will not remove all these businesses. Ang sasabihin lang natin kay Henry C., ang sasabihin lang natin kay Ayala, sa mga aboitis, at saka sa mga oligarkong ito, bayaran nyo ng tama ang mga manggagawang Pilipino at bibigyan nyo ang kanilang mga karapatan at bayaran nyo ng tama ang inyong mga taxes at we will regulate you, and at the same time, the revolutionary government with the help of funds coming from our banks, tutulong para lumago ang isang grupo ng mga Filipino entrepreneurs who will not only be equal, but will surpass the oligarchs in the control of our national economy. So yun po ang in brief, bumaba, kwento. Those are the 3 components of a revolutionary government. And I think we are ready to answer any question. No holds barred. No holds barred.
Thank you very much, our very own National Funding Chairman. Palakpakan muli si ating pinakamamahal na Bishop Nilo Tayag. At this point in time, with the indulgence of the good National Chairman, hindi po muna tayo mag-open forum. Bigyan muna natin ng daan yung dalawa pang leader natin na nag-request na mag-o-oath din sila kahit dalawa lang sila nandito, pero later on na. But we will give them at least 5 minutes. 5 long minutes. Siguro ako na ganun 5 long minutes. Nasasayo na yun. Pero wag lang tayo abutin ng hapon. Biro lang. Okay, so please welcome. Makinig po tayo ng another message from the Provincial Chairman of Zamboanga, Sibugay, Habib Mujahab Hasib.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I would like to begin my short 5 law comments with a verse from the Holy Quran. As I have noticed, majority of us here are Muslims. It says, there is a farman in the Holy Quran which says, وَأَعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold fast together, all of you, to the rope of Allah, and don't be divided by among ourselves. Kumapit kayo sa lubid ng Panginoong Allah at huwag kayong magkakahiwalay. This verse applies to all humanity, not only to the Muslims, including the Christians, because when we see Allah, that there is only God Almighty, we call Him Allah. The Catholics called Him maybe Jesus Christ or God the Father. The Jehovah Witness called Him Jehovah. But the truth of the matter, as all human beings, are the creation of one supreme God, and that is Allah. And the President Duterte, when he said about God, he said, I have my God. He must be referring to the supreme God, the God not only of the Muslims, but also of the non-Muslims. Again, before proceeding, I would like to thank Brother Nilo Tayag, Bishop Tayag here. He is a very popular. At the time, I was also in Manila, while they were on the KM leading on the demonstration at Mindiola and Malacanang. My group was that of the NUSP, a little bit moderate group, but there are more NUSP students throughout the Philippines at the time. In time of demonstrations, the Kabatang Kabayan were in front, we were at the back, but we support their cause. And I am happy that they have the President and Brother Nilo Tayag here, or Bishop Tayag, has decided to form this group, this revolutionary government. We believe that this will address the problem of the president, because no matter he's popular, he still is popular on the question of corruption, on the question of drugs, and question tenancies. I think without this revolutionary government, he will have a difficulty, because the Supreme Court, both houses of Congress are still there, and he cannot do what he wants to change the system or pagbabago. On the part of as I'm an MNLF, I am from the MNLF. I am the Deputy Foreign Minister of the Moro National Liberation Front. On the part of the revolution, as I was signed in the propaganda organ of the MNLF, known as the Suara Malaysia, or the Voice of Malaysia, that was the propaganda organ. We were based in Malaysia at that time. So when I heard of his name, immediately when I approached him there, he said, I know you. You don't know me, but you are a very popular personality. Until now, is still popular. For and in behalf, therefore, not only of the MNLF, I'm not speaking on MNLF, but I'm speaking as the chairman, provincial chairman of Zamboanga, Sibugay. And under this revolutionary government, God willing, if we are united, it has hold fast to the roof of God Almighty. We call him different names, but he is the only supreme God, the God of mankind. So again, I have only one questions to Brother Bishop here. Does the revolutionary government limited only to Mindanao or the whole of the country? And so it is the whole of the country. It is indeed the solution, because we have formed several fronts. The first, of course, was the Moro National Liberation Front, and later on the MILF headed by Salamat Hasim. And again, the MNLF was again divided into two, the Council of 15 under Noor. But on our part, I am from the group of Islamic Command Council, belonging to the MNLF, and which recognized and still recognizes Noor as the founding chairman. So we are on alliance with Noor, unlike the other group. But anyway, irrespective of the revolutionary groups where I belong, this, I believe, is the real revolution, because we tried but failed. Hopefully, with our cooperation, we will succeed on this, because this is a peaceful revolution, unlike the revolution that we have. It was, to borrow the words of Mao Zedong, he said, victory through the barrel of the gun. And we cry, said, victory or martyrdom, or victory or to the graveyard. Those were and are still our battlefield, battle cry. And the fact is, I and Brother Kabalu here, we were of the same level. We used to meet at the OIC. He was the spokesman of the MI. I was also speaking, though unofficially, on behalf of the MNLF. And we have the same views with Brother Ed Kabalu here. And with this active participation, behind the bishop here. I believe that we will succeed. And again, this movement is irrespective of, we are not bringing the MNLF into this group or whatever group, but we are Muslims and we are Filipinos working sa pagbabago or an absolute change. A change in the system. Federalism cannot change the system. So again, I have another question. Since by declaring Brother Bishop a revolutionary government similar to that of Cory Aquino, what will happen then to the incoming CONCOM draft constitution of the CONCOM draft constitution? Will it be applied or will it be supported by this REGO or what?
For as long as it complements and supports the aims of the revolutionary government, we will deal with the draft federal constitution and even with the BBL accordingly, based on the aims that will be established by President Duterte under a revolutionary government.
Thank you very much again for and in behalf of Zamboanga, Sibugay, for and in behalf of the Sultanate of Sulu, because incidentally I'm the chairman of the Council of Royal Sharif, the family of Shariful Hasim, the descendants of the first Sultan of Sulu, and also I am the Prime Minister of the Sultan of one of the Sultans of Sulu. So, in behalf of the Sultanate of Sulu and North Borneo, in behalf of the Muslims, not only of the MLF, and in behalf of the Christians in the whole area, we hereby pledge our full support. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.
Thank you very much, Habib Mujahab Hasim. Susunod po ay bigyan natin ng pagkakataon to give his sharing also ng ating pong Provincial Chairman ng Zamboanga del Norte, Sharif Achar Sarhadil.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good morning to everyone, to my brother Christian, and of course to our Honorable Founding Chairman of the Revolution Duterte or Revolutionary Government. Well, without his knowing, when he spoke about Kabataan Makabayan, we were one of those followers of Nilo Tayag. During my student days, I was one of the leaders of the KM in Zamboanga City, and of course our director of the NAPOLCOM can testify to that. They were part of our rallies against Marcos' dictatorship at the time, together with Grace Rebolios, the former president of the Western Mindanao State University. Well, anyway, I am very glad that Nilo Tayag, please allow me to call that, because although you don't know me, but we know you so much. Your instruction to us, to the students in the field before, has been clearly implemented, and so we really idol you, Nilo, because of your passion to revolutionize the government. I'm also one of the cabinet members of Noreen Seminole. We have been fighting for more than 50 years, and from his own mouth, sabi niya parang pagod na tayo na palagi na lang tayong niloloko ng gobyerno. And even Nilo mentioned the fact that before Jose Rizal, Apolinario Mabini, Aguinaldo started their own revolution, we have already started our revolution 3. Ito, alam din natin na magkaibigan si Professor Noreen, pati si President Duterte. Kung ano man yung napag-usapan nila, hindi nila pinupubliko. Pero talagang magkasama sila sa isang isipan. Pati sa mga speeches ni President Duterte, naririnig natin Nasabi niya na itong Mindanao na ito ay talagang sa mga Moro ito. Kailangan natin ito ibigay sa kanila dahil sa kanila ito. Sabi niya, kahit ako na hindi ako taga Mindanao, nagpunta lang kami dyan sa Davao. Pero ang support ko, sabi niya, kay Noreen sa revolusyon ng mga Moro ay nandito. Pero hindi natin ito maaaring makuha kung hindi tayo talagang makipagtulungan kay President Duterte. Hindi tayo aklas sa Pilipinas, pero maging magkaibigan at magkapatid tayo sa buong Pilipinas. Ang mga Moro dito sa Mindanao, ang Luzon at Visayas, parte pa rin ng Pilipinas, okay na rin yun sa kasalukuyan. Kaya ngayon, we are very glad that Bishop Nilo Tayag has founded this Revolusyong Duterte for Revolutionary Government. Talagang kahit hindi tinatanong, ang sambayanang Pilipino ay buhos na buhos ang pagsuporta nila sa ating mahal na Pangulong Duterte. Pero dahil sa oligarkyo, dahil sa mga businessmen, dahil sa mga drug lords, dahil sa mga trapos, traditional politicians na gusto nilang maghari habang buhay sa Pilipinas, mahihirapan nating Pangulo. Kahit itong meron na tayong draft federal government na constitution na patungo sa isang successful o sa isang magandang Pilipinas na hindi na sa unitary government lang, nasa Manila lang yung Imperial Manila lang yung pinanggagalingan ng pondo. Ngayon, nadi-divide na lahat para sa kaputihan ng lahat sa buong Pilipinas. Ito ay kinukontra pa rin ng mga kasalukuyang naghahari sa lipunan. Yung mga senators, ayaw nilang maalis sa pwesto nila. Kaya kahit na yung mga kasama ni sumusuporta kay Pangulong Duterte, sa ngayon, parang sabi niya, uy, huwag muna tayong mag-federal. Pag-isipan natin yan. Yung mga congressmen na maraming kasama kay Pangulong Duterte, ngayon naman sabi niya, uy, maalis kami. Huwag muna yan. Kaya panahon na para palitan sila lahat. Kaya itong naisip ni Nilo Tayag ay talagang napapanahon. Talagang bilib pa rin ako sa kanya. Noon pa man hanggang ngayon. Kung tungkol sa pagmamahal sa ating bansa, pagmamahal sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino, ay nasa puso pa rin niya. Kailangan talaga natin gawin ang pagbabago, gawin natin ang paglinis ng lipunan sa isang 360 degrees revolusyon. Maraming salamat, Nilo, sa iyong pagkakaroon.
Ang MC
Okay, maraming salamat po. Dadako na tayo, Bishop, sa ating pong open forum. Anyway, there are two pending questions from the province of Zamboanga, Sibugay. So you have the floor.
Please remind me of the first question. For the benefit.
Yeah, for the first question was, will this REGOP limited to Mindanao or what?
Of course, I answered that question. That the revolutionary government is meant for the entire Philippine archipelago. As defined, we, the revolutionary government, will be defining the territorial boundaries. We are not bound by the definition of previous constitutions about the territorial boundaries of the Philippine archipelago. And what is the second question?
The second question was, what will be the fate of the Pongpong draft constitution with the declaration of this REGOP?
Earlier, I have not mentioned this slogan or this campaign, what we call panawagan, this call. We have adopted this call in the Revolution Duterte for a revolutionary government. Number one, let them do their worst. The assumption of this phrase, let them do their worst, is that the present Philippine political structures as well as political institutions are flawed and dysfunctional. These are not these political institutions have evolved from Aguinaldo to Aquino III. And the development of the Filipino character, because of the absence of Filipino ideology that is inculcated from youth to adulthood, the lack of an ideology, which is different in the case of our Muslim brothers, that the ideology, the sacred ideology, you know, as students of ideologies, there are two types of ideologies. The sacred ideologies or sacral ideologies, which are more often than not religions. And the other one is what we call secular ideologies. Secular ideologies have nothing to do with the divine, with the spirit, with the other world, the spiritual world. They just like communism, just like capitalism, which are secular ideologies. They have nothing to do with spiritual matters. But mind you, in the case of Islam, that there is a combination of both the spiritual and the secular. It is a stronger ideology when it is imbibed and internalized by people. That's the difference. In the case of our Christian brothers, they have not merged Christian values as well as democratic values as well as nationalistic values, which are embodied in what we call the Filipino ideology. The point that I am driving at is that in the case of the Filipino ideology, it was forged by Rizal and Company in Spain. Yung binabanggit ko kanina ng Los Indios Bravos. And then the one who implemented that ideology was Andres Bonifacio when he founded the Katipunan, the first president of the first Philippine Republic was Andres Bonifacio from 1892 to 1896. When he was succeeded by Aguinaldo after the Tejeros Convention. The Tejeros Convention represents what we call the Tejeros Syndrome. Syndrome means some sort of a disease. The history of all hitherto existing societies, the history of all hitherto existing organizations, even corporate organizations, the history of factionalism. Yun ang ina-accuse sa atin ng maraming mga students of political science as well as foreign scholars and intellectuals na meron daw parang salot na bumabalot sa mga Pilipino na may sakit silang magtatayo palagi ng mga paksyon. Sa bawat organisasyon na may tatayo sa kanilang hanay, ay merong mga paksyon-paksyon na nabubuo at hindi sila nabubuo sa isang organisasyon. Dito sa ating revolutionary government na ito, one of the things that we should remember and one of the things that we should pledge on is that we should put an end to this Tejeros syndrome o itong salot ng syndrome. Maasahan ba natin ito, mga kapatid? That is why we have this concept of an alternative autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao. Because we do not want the graft and corruption that is pervasive in the current, as it is currently constituted, yung AARM. And even the previous AARMs under President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, under President Noynoy Aquino, ay punong-puno din ng mga corruption itong AARM, Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao. Kaya ang pledge natin dito sa alternative, dalawa kasi yan initiative natin ngayon. magpapatuloy itong alternative autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao, even as we are organizing those provinces that are not included in the AARM, like North Cotabato, Sultan Kudarat, Sarangani, General Santos, like Zamboanga del Sur, Zamboanga del Norte, Zamboanga del Sur, Sibugay. Ang ibig ko sabihin, dito sa dinidinan ko yung pagsasama ng mga Kristiyano, pagsasama ng mga Muslim, at saka ng mga lumads dito sa mga probinsya ito. Dito natin patutunayan na pwede tayong magkaisa. Even as we submit to the wish of the draft constitution, the draft federal constitution led by Justice Puno, the committee that was appointed by President Duterte to draft the consultative committee that was assigned by President Duterte to draft the federal constitution. Okay. This draft federal constitution has already been submitted to Congress. It has already been submitted to the Senate. It has already been submitted, I heard, also to the Supreme Court for early study. And of course, President Duterte anticipates that this draft constitution will also be questioned in the Supreme Court. It will not be all questioned in the Supreme Court but in the Parliament of the streets. Mayroong mga grupo, bagamat overwhelming ang numbers na sumusuporta sa revolutionary government, but you know, kasi may maraming pera itong mga oligarko, maraming pera itong mga trapo, nakakapagbayad sila ng mga demonstrador, mga malalaking demonstrasyon laban sa federal draft constitution. Ganon din naman ang BBL. I don't know, I have not read the new version of the BBL of how much it has been emasculated by Congress and by the Senate. What I do know is that after the submission, I know that the BBL was already submitted to the President, and then the President will be signing the BBL in a ceremony before or after he delivers his State of the Nation address tomorrow. Now, again, we anticipate mass actions, demonstrations against the BBL. We anticipate legal suits before the Supreme Court questioning the BBL, and in an endless process of debate, as I have said to you, the flawed political institutions, the legal system that we have, and of course, at the same time, the character of the Filipino as he was shaped by colonialism and by American imperialism. We have to contend with all these forces. Now, what is the position of the Revolutionary Duterte and for a revolutionary government? The position of Revolution Duterte for a revolutionary government is that we will just allow them to do their worst because they are programmed to self-destruct. And when they self-destruct, the revolutionary government could easily take over. What I mean is that whether the BBL is approved or not for implementation, whether the new draft of the Constitution is accepted by the Congress and the Senate, it is of no moment to us. Because you should always consider the fact that a revolutionary government does not respect, it is not a respecter of any existing constitution. The only basis of a revolutionary government is the people's will. Vox populi, vox Dei. Ibig sabihin, a new draft, a new constitution will be drafted after a revolutionary government has been established. And as I have mentioned in my previous lectures, is that we can always discuss here publicly the what and the who. of a revolutionary government. But most of you here are military commanders that you do not give tactical information or as to the how, as to the when, and as to the where. We will do it. But what is this? What is important is the next part of this slogan. Let them do their worst. The second part is that we will confront Duterte with a fait accompli. Meaning, Mr. President, we are prepared in all aspects. In all the three components, the revolutionary mass movement, the military component, as well as the political component of the revolutionary government, we are ready. Are you ready to proclaim the revolutionary government? So that is what we mean by let them do their worst under the existing flawed and dysfunctional political institutions, to be followed by we will confront President Duterte with a fait accompli or an accomplished fact that we are prepared in all aspects, as you will now do so in your own respective provinces down to the barangay level, na magbubuo kayo ng mga taong magiging bahagi ng isang bagong kapamahalaan at isang tunay na nagbabagong lipunan ng sambayanang Pilipino.
So maraming salamat. That was the answer of our chairman for the two questions coming from Sibugay. How about Zamboanga Norte? Kung may clarification kayo, sir.
Hanggang kailan kaya tayo maghihintay na mumpisan natin itong revolutionary government? Kasi last year, yung mga MNLF, nagpunta kami sa Davao lahat, almost 1 million. No? Alam mo naman yun siguro. While yung mga MILF nag-conference doon sa Maguindanao, pero nandoon kami, talagang hinihingi namin yung revolutionary government. Nakapula lahat yung mga MNLF warriors and supporters doon sa Davao. All over Mindanao, nagpunta doon sa Davao para sabihin kay President Duterte na i-proclaim na ngayon ang revolutionary government. Pero siguro maraming iniisip ang Presidente, baka sabihin hindi pa na papanahon. Kaya ang tanong namin ngayon, kailan kaya sa palagay mo ang panahon? Hanggang matapos yung term niya? Bukas pa? Or next year?
Kung matatandaan mo, sinabi ko kanina na the when and the where and the how of a revolutionary government is that exposed in public. But I can answer you in a subjective manner, in the sense that the president has his own intelligence agents and intelligence agencies to determine whether we have adequate preparation for a revolutionary government. And it is for him to decide, based on his perception, based on his assessment, and based on his investigations of the matter, whether we have come to a point that we have adequately prepared for a revolutionary government in all aspects, the revolutionary mass movement or clamor, the military component, and the political component of a revolutionary government. So that's my answer to your question.
So, ang ibig sabihin nun ay kailangan madaliin natin ang trabaho natin. Magparami tayo ng kasama. O, dumidepende sa ating kahandaan yun. Okay? So, any more? From the audience, from the participants na gustong magtanong? Any question, clarification? Yes, the city chairman of Pagadian.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay. What happened to the designated, appointed chairman when the federal state will be implemented in this country?
When the federal state is implemented, whose timetable is not yet very clear to us, it will not affect our structure. Nandun pa rin yung ating nakatayo yung Provincial Council natin, Regional Council. Nakatayo yung ating Provincial Council, nakatayo yung ating City Council at saka mga Municipal Councils down to the barangay councils. And these are all well indoctrinated. These are all well chosen. And it is in your hands. This responsibility lies in your hands as to the capability and the strength of these organizations. Whatever happens, whether it is by the federal government that is in existence, whether the BBL has been fully implemented or not, we will still pursue our drive for a revolutionary government because we believe that in spite of this federal constitution being implemented, in spite of the BBL being implemented, there will be still very many defects in the system that can only be corrected under a revolutionary government.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Sunod. Sinong may... Yes, again, the chairman of Sambo Norte.
Siguro pwede kong baka i-clarify yung question ng ating chairman sa Pagadian City. Baka yung tanong niya, yung sa akin, kuwan ko lang ha. Baka yung tanong niya, yung sila na lang ngayon yung mga chairman sa different municipalities ng revolutionary government na ito. Kung halimbawa mag-establish na ng government, ano kaya, saan sila papunta? Sila ba maging mayor or barangay captain ng kanilang mga lugar na sila na ngayon yung mga nakaupo bilang chairman sa revolutionary government? Ganun ba? Kung hindi ganun, yun na rin tanong ko.
Ano ang kuwan mangyari sa mga
appointed? Anong mangyari ngayon?
Kung may federal state na ang ma-implement.
Ganito kasi ang naging posisyon namin in our meeting in Luzon last the 20th of July. Number one, while we are espousing and carrying out a program for a revolutionary government, we will allow our members who are inclined to participate in the elections. Kasi meron silang tinatanong tungkol sa hugpong ng pagbabago. Meron silang tinatanong tungkol sa mass organization ng tapang at malasakit. Meron silang tinatanong tungkol sa political party known as PDDS. Meron ding bagong partido ngayon, na partido ng Federal EFT, Partido Federal ng Pilipinas. There are political parties and political parties. There are political organizations and organizations. In short, there is a multiplicity of organizations. We will allow members of Revolution Duterte for a revolutionary government, for our members who are inclined to participate in the elections. Okay? We will not prevent them if yung ating political component ay meron doon ma-appoint dito sa federal government, federal setup. So, hindi natin sila pipigilan. But we will remain intact as a political component, as an organization, because the takeover, when? Sinasabi natin. We are not saying what date, day of the month, what year. What we are saying is that the moment a revolutionary government is declared by the President, kailangan nakahanda yung Provincial Council natin to take over the capital, the City Council to take over the city, the Municipal Council to take over the municipalities, and the barangay councils to take over all the barangay councils. Simultaneously for the entire Philippine archipelago. Simultaneously.
So, maliwanag?
Maliwanag.
Liwanag. Ano ibig sabihin pag nag-takeover ka? Oh, kunin mo yung munisipyo, kunin mo ang kapitulyo, ano ibig sabihin nun? Di ba? Okay. Pero yun na nga. Are you ready? Matapang ba tayo para lusubin yun? Pero hindi lang tayo, may kasama tayo. Later on, i-reveal din yan sa atin. Okay?
Later on, we'll be holding more intensive and more serious discussions as to the mechanics and structures of the proposed revolutionary government. So that will not be caught flat-footed when the President declares it. Kasi pag nagkalit na yun, ang sabi niya, don't try me. Ang sabi niya, huwag niyo ako subukan.
Yun.
Huwag niyo ako subukan. That I will not declare martial law because I have to report to the Congress and the Supreme Court under martial law. What I will declare is a revolutionary government.
Yes. Okay. So any more? Yes, Habib.
Another question to the Bishop. Any timetable? Because in my own view, I think it has to be done as soon as possible because election registration will be on October. I think if it could be done before that, it's easier to remove those elected government officials. I have in mind, I don't know if this had come to your idea, Bishop. Why not do a Cory style of declaring revolutionary government? In case of Cory, it was a change from the apparent dictatorship under Marcos to a democracy under Cory. And I suppose that under the present government, under the President Duterte, it is a change from the present system to federalism. So will it be possible for the President to declare this revolutionary government during the interim period from now on until a federal setup shall have been established under the CONCOM draft constitution?
According to established jurisprudence, based on the histories of several countries that have undergone revolutionary governments, the condition is set when there is an existing or an ongoing revolution. Pagkatapos, a Philippine president declares a revolutionary government under such a situation. In other words, there is unrest, there is an existing rebellion, there is an existing chaos and disorder, and there is an existing lawlessness. Kaya dinidebate na naman sa draft constitution yung lawlessness. In any case, that is not very strict in the sense that, number one, there is an existing revolution now. The Revolution Duterte is an existing revolution. It is very easy to create what we call the triggering mechanisms of a revolutionary government. Magkikreate ka ng unrest, magkikreate ka ng chaos, magkikreate ka ng disorder in order to justify the proclamation of a revolutionary government. Kung gagawin mo ito, kailangan pakikita mo na kailangan talagang ideklara ang revolutionary government. Bahagi pa rin yun ng preparation natin. Sinasabi ko, overwhelming clamor all over the country. Kung 1 milyon mabubuo natin sa Davao City, 1 milyon sa Manila, 1 milyon sa Lucena City, 1 milyon sa may pakikita natin sa Presidente na nakahanda na tayo. But it is not only physical numbers, but real organizational strength. At saka yung talagang real work within the AFP at saka sa PNP. Hindi ko na ikukwento sa inyo, siguro mas maganda ang kwento ko sa inyo kung bakit confident kami o confident tayo na meron tayong sizable amount of following in the AFP and the PNP. Just a few weeks after I was released from prison by President Marcos, after Binabakasyon niya ako ng mga 11 taon for rebellion and subversion. Hanggang nadala ako sa Muntinlupa National Penitentiary. I had the passion and temerity to go to Malacanang without any appointment. And fortunately, President Marcos entertained me. And when I looked at my watch, we had been talking for 2 hours about ideology, about the New People's Army. Alam niyo kung anong confrontation namin pagkarating ko doon. Binigyan niya ako ng pagkakataon, umupo siya. What can I do for you? Sabi niya. Mr. President, sabi ko, medyo malakas pa ang boses ko. You will never defeat the New People's Army. Why? Because, Mr. President, they know what they're living for, they know what they are fighting for, and they know what they are dying for. Your soldiers are only living, fighting, and dying for their salaries and their allowances, and their uniforms and their shoes. The New People's Army kako, wala man lang kami mga sapatos doon. That we organized the New People's Army in order to fight your government. Number 2, Mr. President, you will never defeat an ideology by means of armed means. You can only defeat an ideology with another superior ideology in terms of acceptability and in terms of practicability for that ideology. Tapos sinabi niya, what do you propose? I propose, Mr. President, that we teach not only the bureaucracy but the AFP and the PNP the Filipino ideology, so that the ideological challenge of the Communist Party of the Philippines, of the ideological challenge of communism, Marxism, Leninism, and Maoism will be answered by the propagation, inculcation, and the internalization of the Filipino ideology within the ranks of the AFP and the PCINP noong araw. Philippine Constabulary, and the Integrated National Police pa noong araw yun. You know what he said? Okay, you talk to Adrian Cristobal and Blas Ople, who were the chief writers of President Marcos, and you worked out. And we worked out a book, The Filipino Ideology, and that became the Bible na ginamit namin para sa pagpapalaganap. I began lecturing sa lahat ng mga kampo ng AFP at saka ng PCINP noong araw. And wonder of wonders, hindi ko ina-expect na after 5 years of lecturing sa loob ng military at saka sa PNP, lilitaw ang mga RAM, reform the AFP movement, soldiers of the Filipino people, at saka yung Young Officers Union. Si Danny Lim, who was a founder of the Young Officers Union under the Filipino ideology, is now the MMD chairman, and at the same time, Danny Lim heads one of the biggest guardians organization in the Philippines. Colonel Reynaldo Capawatan, Colonel Hangaw, the founder of Guardians, has been lectured. I lectured him on the Filipino ideology, and he himself was the one who marked me as a member of the Guardians. General Avelino Razon was the Grand Master of Mason. He's now the head of thousands of Guardians, who was also part of the Reform the AFP movement. Senator Gringo Anasan was the head of the Reform the AFP movement, including Colonel Red Capunan and others, and other leaders. They are still with us. And of course, we have the soldiers of the Filipino people. We have RAM, Reform the AFP movement. So we have SFP, soldiers of the Filipino people, at saka Young Officers Union, who are still building cells inside the AFP and the PNP. At this is further reinforced by the efforts of President Duterte to double the salaries of the AFP personnel and as well as the PNP personnel. and at the same time, yung kanyang regard for the wounded and those killed elements of the AFP and the PNP. And of course, yung sinasabi kong force multipliers, as a people's militia, yung mga guardians, headed by General Reynaldo Biroya, Colonel Reynaldo Capawatan, General Danny Lim, General Abelino Razon, and many others whose name I would not be mentioning to you so that they will not be compromised because they are still active in the service. What I do assert is that we have a sizable number within the AFP and the PNP, and we can successfully wage a revolutionary government with a very important component, the military component.
So, meron pa? Any question? Kasi kung wala na, yung oras po natin ay, sabi ng mga Chabacano, ora de peligro. Ora de peligro na. Medyo may tumutunog-tunog na. So, ngayon, baka ready na siguro yung lunch natin. In the meantime, bago tayo mag-lunch, bigyan muna natin ng daan yung ating bibigay ng ating closing statement. May opening kanina, dapat may closing statement. Kasi kahapon sa Zamboanga, hindi na namin nagawa. Nagpicturean na, nagano na. So, tsaka umuwi din kasi yung magsasalita kasi may fever yung chairman ng Tawi-Tawi. So, at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, for the closing statement, ito'y kasama sa hanay namin, mga kabataan. Pero respetado naman ito sa kanilang komunidad, lalo na sa probinsya ng Maguindanao. Siya po ang Provincial Vice Chairman ng Maguindanao Province. Daturolly, Karon.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Kanilo Tayag, Bishop, Convenor ng Revolutionary Duterte. Itong nakita ko sa harapan, talagang ako ngayon masayang-masaya sa hanay ng kabataan. Dahil lahat sila nakapagsalita na po eh. Puro mga revolutionary. Sa mga talumpati nila kanina, mga revolutionary, mula sa simula, mga revolutionary. Kaya nga, siguro about revolution, pamilya sa atin ito eh. Lalo-lalo na sa mga Moro. Ang revolution na nakikita natin, nung tuwing sa nananalumpati sila is madugong revolusyon. Pero ito, gagabitin ko na lang pagkakataon eh. Kung ayon sa mga ninono ko noon, dito na una sa Sibugay, ang Sultan Kudarat. Ay hindi, si Sultan Kudarat, bago napunta ng Maguindanao. Ako, taga Maguindanao ako eh. Pero kung banggitin natin ang Bangsamoro, bakit hindi naririnig ang Sibugay? Saan napunta ang Sibugay? Kung banggitin ang Sultanate ng Mindanao, Raja Boyan, Maguindanao, Kabuntalan, minsan sinasabi, Sultan ng Sibugay. Pero kung banggitin ang Bangsamoro, hindi ba maririnig ang Sibugay? Ang naririnig, Lanao. Patapangampong Aranaw, nandyan. Kaya nga, gagamitin ko ito pagkakataon kasi unang pagkakataon ito na tumayo ko dito sa Pagadian, sa Sibugay. Ako, batang-bata pa pero nakikinig ako sa sinasabi ng nakakatanda. Kinakailangan ang Sibugay. Ito na siguro ang pagkakataon dahil mapayapang revolusyon. Ang tinatag ni Bishop Nilo Tayag, hindi ito madugo. Gagamitin ang Sibugay ngayon. Ilan ang Sibugay? Isa lang. Actually, ang Sibugay noon, sabi nila, entire Zamboanga region. Ang Sultanate of Sibugay. Sana gamitin na ito ng pagkakataon. Although, medyo may tinatamaan ako, pero ito naman ang totoo eh. Kami taga Maguindanao. Mas panganay ang Sibugay kaysa Maguindanao. Banggitin ng revolusyon, Maguindanao, Hulo, Tawi-Tawi, Basilan, nandyan ang revolusyon. Saan napunta ang revolusyon ng Sibugay? Kung sa history, nauna ang Sibugay. Pero nawala sa history. Di ba? Ito, kilala ko ito sa pangalan eh. Kung maalala niya yung sila ni Chief Milham. parati sa bahay namin, pero di siguro, hindi niya ako kilala. At saka mga magulang ko, mga revolutionary. Kaya nga, kahit although hindi ako kasali sa barilan, pero may nakikita ako kung ano ang revolusyon noon. Ang revolusyon ngayon, dibisyo tayag, hindi dugo. Magsalita tayo. Salita lang ang kapitan natin dito. Para magsalita tayo, suportahan natin si Nilo Tayag, suportahan natin si Duterte, para magdeklara ng revolutionary government, para makuha natin anong man ang gusto natin sa sarili nating lugar. Hindi religion ang pinag-usapan dito. Tingnan natin, si Bishop, may krus na malaki tayo, mga Moro, Muslim tayo eh. O tingnan nyo. Pero bakit nandito tayo? Hindi man pinag-usapan sa revolution ng religion. Ang pinag-usapan lugar. Di ba? Kinukuha ang lugar natin, kinukuha ang karapatan natin, hindi yung religion. Pero sa pagkakataon ngayon, magkasama ang Muslim, Christian. Kaya nga, ang sa akin naman, ito, maraming salamat sa Bishop, Nilo Tayag, Convenor. Ito, ang dating spokesman ng ML, si Kabalu, revolutionary. Ito si Kasarip, revolutionary, MNLF. Si Mujab, chairman ng ICC, minister ni Norte noon. Ito si Kaisra, ang sabi niya, ang from Maguindanao mga ninuno niya, pumunta dito sa Sibugay. Kasi magkapatid ito eh. O ito naman si Candy, revolutionary. Kaya nga, ang sa akin ngayon, kasi closing remark, sana meron tayong madala sa pag-uwi natin. Ang Sibugay magpalakas. Nawawala kayo sa history. Ito ang totoo. BBL, bakit nasali bang Sibugay? 1976 nasali. Di ba ka? O ito mga kung 1976 agreement, 1996, Jeddah Accord. Di ba sa revolution yan? 1996 final peace agreement, saan napunta ang Sibugay? Sa 1996. Di ba ka? Ito mga kung ito sa ng MNLF eh. Saan napunta ang Sibugay? Ito, pagkakataon ko sabihin sa inyo, kinakailangan may tayo ninyo ang sarili ninyo. Ang Maguindanao, nandyan pa rin. Kahit anong pag-usapan sa Moro, nandyan ang Maguindanao, nandyan ang Basulta. Kaya nga ka, pagkakataon na ito, magsalita na tayo. Hindi na sa dulo ng bare, sa mga bunganga natin. Maraming salamat. Wassalamualaikum wabillahi taufiq.
Yan ang boses galing sa mga kabataan. Medyo parang bumabalik yung mga alaala ninyo eh. Sa mga kabataan ninyo, kanya din kayo magsalita. Di ba? Sige, sige.
Salamat sa bilang sabi niya kami Salamat. Thank you for the reminder. By the way, tama yun, based on history, mayroong Sultan of Sibugay. Kaya lang upon the division, because Sibugay was part of Zamboanga del Sur, kaya lang naihati. That was after the signing of the 1996 peace agreement. Because of our demand that there should be more areas that will be governed by the MNLF or the Muslims, Sibugay was, naging probinsya niyan, intended for the Muslims. Pero ang nangyari, hindi nakapwesto ang MNLF, ang Muslim diyan, wala talaga. And Sibugay was a sultanate. Sibugay was part of the Sultanate of Maguindanao. And upon the creation of Sambu Sur, then Sibugay, Zamboanga City, Zamboanga Peninsula, and even up to Sabah and Norboneo, Sibugay is now part of the Sultanate of Sulu in the wider Kaya sabi namin, sinabi ko kay Jay, ito sultan din ito eh. Sabi ko, by territory you are part of the Sultanate of Sulu. But by tradition you are part of the Sultanate of Maguindanao. Kaya ito yung duplikarat sila ito eh. Pwede part of the Sultanate of Maguindanao, part of the Sultanate of Sulu. Pero yung ginawa namin, nag-meeting kami on several times, that Zamboanga Sur and Sibugay, Zamboanga Peninsula, is now part of the Sultanate of Sulu. Gusto ko rin sagutin sa ambi mo, bakit wala yung mga sultan na na-declare ng MNLF nung nakumpisang himagsikan? Ang dahilan ay ang concept ng MNLF noon was our revolution was patterned with that of the communist si Mao Zedong. So we'll bring the revolution from the grassroots to the city. Ngayon, itong mga sultan natin, with due respect, until now naman, they were part of the system. Yung MNLF ay naibuo against the system. Tulad nitong Duterte Revolution natin, against the system. Itong mga sultan, part ng system, they were never revolutionaries. With few exception na sumali sa amin sa revolution among the Datus was Sakiruddin Bajin o Daturolly. At sa mga sarip, marami, kami mga sarip, buo sa revolution. So yun ang dahilan. Pero ganitong nangyari, nang nagkaroon ng negotiation, fully agreement, not fully implemented, urong-sulong ang MNLF. Kung walang negotiation, sabi ni Brother Noor, independence. Kung mag-negotiate naman, wala nung independence, autonomy na. Kaya urong-sulong. Sinabi ng OIC sa amin in one of OIC conference, have you only supported the Sultanate of Sulu, you should have been independent by now. Kasi sabi niya, ang Sultanate is an institution. Kayo sabi niya, revolution, tama yun, but you should have supported an institution. This is the paradigm issue. Now, that is, talking aside from our group itong Ribo, anong mangyari ang territory niya? Wala. There is a conflict of territory and conflict of governance between MNLF and MILF. ARM is a territory of the MNLF, never a territory of, with due respect, of the MILF. Because when we negotiated for ARM, part of our autonomy, yung MI, they were for independence. Pero nagbaliktad, nang namatay si Salamat Hasim, autonomy na. Hanggang ngayon, autonomy na. Inagaw na nila yung territory, yung core territory of ARM. Where is the territory of the MNLF? Nawala na. No territory. The territory is now given, is platted. Nandoon na sa MILF. With due respect, kapatid natin. Saan na si brother nung naupo? Saan na tayo? If you still consider yourself MNLF. Wala na. That is the gain of the revolution, the AARM. Kasi yun lang ang nakuha natin. Pero ma-solve ito with the emergence of the Duterte Revolution. So we will not talk about MNLF and MI, nor or Ajimura. Huwag na. Ito na. I believe that they will support this movement. Anyway, pag nakalatag na yung future federalism, nandyan pa rin naman sila. I believe they will join. Kasi by joining the MNLF, we tried several times in the OIC for so long a time, since 2001. United, kami ni Kabalu sa Libya. Unite, MNNM yan. Never hindi talaga ma-unite yan. And yet, magkakapatid yan, pero hindi naman nag-aaway. So, ito ang solution niya is this present movement now. So, the reason why we did not include the sultans, pro-government sila pro-establishment sila. Ang MNLF revolution, gusto niya ipabagsak yung system. And the sultans, with due respect, both Maguindanao and Sulu, were with establishment. Hindi sila revolutionary. Hanggang ngayon, hindi naman sila revolutionary. With due respect sa kanila, hindi. I hope they will join this real revolution now, which is peaceful. Thank you.
Hindi ko rin mapigilan na ang sarili na mag-comment dito sa mga pangyayari. We do not take the blame on our Muslim brothers na parang napabayaan nila. When we passed the town of Matalam, which supposedly was named after Datu Talam, or the Mindanao Independence Movement, comment si Datu Maguindanao, sabi niya, there was a time that in the town or municipality of Matalam, most of the landowners were Muslims. For some reasons, due to the operations of these oligarchs, in cahoots and in cooperation with the traditional politicians. Gradually, yung lupa ng Matalam, municipality of Matalam, napunta na naman sa mga traditional politicians sa mga oligarko. No, nag-lose. Nawawala ng teritoryo ang ating pinagkikipaglaban. In the same manner na lumiit lang na lumiit yung AARM covering the provinces of Maguindanao, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi, as well as the, ngayon, nire-negotiate natin na magkaroon ng sana dito sa Zamboanga del Sur at Zamboanga del Norte and Sibugay. Ni-assert na maging bahagi ito ng ARM. But all these things, in our struggle within the revolutionary government, the struggle for a revolutionary government to extirpate and to expel and to remove the control of the oligarchs and the trapos, masasolve natin ang problema ng mga Muslims who have been deprived of their land and their ancestral domain, ang kanilang mga at isama-sama natin to sa ipakikipaglaban ng ating revolutionary government.
Actually, this is not a question. This is a matter of parang worry. Kasi what had happened last barangay election, yung mga tao pa rin na nandoon, yung mga salot ang bumalik. So I am worried if we have another election, it is another paglilinis naman natin. Instead na nakalinis na tayo ng bahagi, ayan na naman maglilinis na ulit dahil silang may pera eh. So, yun ang problema ko ngayon. I really worried kung may election pa. So, I really suggest na to have this movement fast-tracked and so that we can move furthermore. Ayun lang po.
Okay. So, at this point in time, Bishop, bigyan ko ng pagkakataon ng isang nakakatanda natin sa Maguindanao to give some comments also. Si Papa Datu Santi Kadatuan. Papa.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hindi na sana ako sasali. At umalis ako sa bahay na hindi na ako sasali sa mga discussion doon. Pero na-challenge ako doon sa sinabi ni Brother Box. Yes. Brother Box, Bogdadi. Yes. Magkakasama kami. Pero doon sa about the Sultanate of Sulu, okay ako kung lahat ng sinabi niya is okay. But in Maguindanao, in Mindanao, Maguindanao, Buayan, and Kamuntalan, our sultanate there are all revolutionaries. I am representing Maguindanao and Kabuntalan. Yes. And then, dapat natin malaman na ang revolution natin ay ito ang continuation of the revolution of our sultanate. We recognize our sultan as head of our revolution in Maguindanao, Kabuntalan, and Rajaboyan. Yes. So, sorry. Dahil naano ako doon. Yes, the whole of Mindanao. So, nasa sultan tayo. That's why we came here with my cousin here from Sultan Saboyan, from Rajaboyan, and I'm representing Maguindanao. So, dalawa. MNLF for revolutionary government. Sana bukas mag-take out natin. So that we can go to Maganoy, Buluan, and everywhere. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat, Bapak. Okay. So, sige, Daturolly. Wala na? Wala na, sige na. Tuloy na tayo.
Umihingi ako ng paumanhin
Okay.
doon sa sinabi ko. Pero yun naman ang totoo, ang sa akin lang para magising lang. Kung meron na kalimutan, kailangan natin lingunin. Pero sa ito, ulitin ko, humingi ako ng paumanhin kung ano man ang nasabi ko. Pero magbalik tanaw tayo sa nakaraan.
Tungkol dyan sa issue ng Sultanate, once naka-attend ako ng isang konsultasyon ginawa ng MILF, alam mo, nakalagay doon, nagano sila gumawa sila ng tawag dito, SWOT analysis. Isa sa mga threat na nilagay nila ay yung claim ng Sabah. So tumayo ako bilang isang tausog, although I'm not part of the royal family. Pero ang nanay ko, tatay ko, Tapul at saka Pata. Hindi lang kami nag-address. So, tumayo ako. Sabi ko, kung ganun pala ang pagtingin natin, walang puwang itong ginagawa natin. Bakit natin sinulat? Sinulat niyo dyan sa Muad Panuni. First paragraph, na ang basis ng anumang effort ng MILF is the suzerain sovereignty of the sultanates, which include the Sultanate of Sulu. Tanggalin niyo yung kako. Wala palang binatbat. Ibig sabihin, hindi kami kasali sa effort ninyo. Kasi threat yung claim ng Sabah. In other words, parang maliwanag, sila lang gusto nila. So ngayon, ako naman, suportahan ko ang sinabi ni Daturolly. Magbalik tanaw tayo. Hindi po tayo makakarating sa pupuntahan natin kung hindi natin balikan. Kaya minsan, inipon ng Council of Sultanate of Sulu ang Bangsa Su sa Zamboanga. Nandun din po ako. I was asked to speak in behalf of Basilan. I stood up. It's about time. Magising tayo. Langgo kanila, biyusong sa kita ni Winnie. Biyusong, may gaba sa atin ng kunti. Kasi sulong tayo ng sulong, kung baga, hindi man lang tayo nagtabya. Uy, mga apo, tabya muna. Kami muna. Parang nagpunta na tayo kaagad, parang anak, nagpunta na kaagad, hindi nagpaalam sa tatay. Ano mangyari? Di maghinanakit yung tatay. So, ang tatay ng lahat, ang Sultanate. Kinilala po tayo ng buong mundo dahil sa Sultanate. Hindi dahil sa MNLF, hindi dahil sa MILF. Dahil sa Sultanate. In fact, 1410, nalibing ang isang sultan, si Sultan Paduka, Allah yarham, doon sa China, sa paghahanap ng soberenya ng ating muro lahi. Nandoon siya nakulong, nalibing, binigyan ng napakagandang musoleo, ng napakagandang libingan doon sa China. Ganun. So, inshallah, maglingon tayo. Tingnan natin. So, sulong tayo, nagkakatugma-tugma, pero minsan hindi lang nagkakatagpi-tagpi. Tama lahat ang ginagawa natin, pero tagpi-tagpi na natin. Sultanate of Sulu, go ahead. Sultanate of Rajaboyan, Maguindanao, Kabuntalan, go ahead. Revolutionary Duterte, revolutionary government, inshallah.
In behalf of the three sultanates, we support the Sultan of Sulu not to get back Sabah, but go to Sabah, that is yours. That is yours. Naging malayo na rin ako. Dito sa bulsa ko, yung identity ko naging malayo. Yung pa rin naging malayo. So, nandun na kami. We invaded Sabah because we have more or less 100,000 from Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, and from Maguindanao who became a Malaysian citizen. So, ako you ask brother there, ako yung isa sa head na naging citizen of Malaysia, ang mga taga-Sulu. We already invaded Sabah. The chief minister now is a Suluk by blood. Okay? And most of the assemblymen there are Suluk. So, we must support Aquilino Pimentel. Nabasa ko sa Daily Express, pinadala ng anak ko kahapon. So, very talk of the town yung Sabah claim dahil kay Pimentel. So, we support Pimentel to get, not to get Sabah, sa atin din. Pero, doon na tayo, yan na lang sa atin na yun. Ang to get back is nakuha. Yan, di ba nila nakuha? So, atin ang Sabah. So, thank you very much.
Inshallah, amin. Yes, panghuli, Brother Ed,
Okay, we'll set the record at least sa tamang landas, ika na. The late Chairman Salamat Hashim, in his letter to President Bush, in 2000 wrote a letter to address to President Bush. And then he made mention of the Sultanate of Sulu as a background of the grievances of the Muslims in Southern Philippines. So, hindi po tama yung mga allegation na ganyan, setting aside the Sultanate as not part of the historical injustices that had been committed against the Moro people, the Muslim in the Southern Philippines. And he recognized that. He recognized it. And then, in addition, I have talked to a respectable Christian leader. Ang sabi niya, kung gusto niyo mapadali yung, talking about independence, you should have a strong background where you can take off. And that is according to this guy, is a sultanate. Wala kayo niyan eh. Wala kayo. This sultanate was recognized by the United Nations. So the only way for you to jump to the United Nations is to have a strong and solid point that you can take up, and that is that is the sultanate of, the sultanate, no less, no more. Hindi kayo pwede sabi niya kung gamitin niyo sabi niya yung sultanate for you to gain your independence. Yes, yes. Hindi mo pwede isa pwera. Wala. And that's an advice from a non-Muslim leader. Even Bishop, alam niya eh. Alam niya eh. Yan yung paraan natin. But we should set aside naman na yan. Kaya napag-usapan natin sapagkat naging issue yung sultanate. I think yung issue naman sa Sabah, tama yung kay Datu Santi. And I've talked to one of the ears of the Sultanate of Sulu, and I'm referring to Sultan Abdullah Kiram. His theory is not to take back Sabah, but to occupy it, because that is ours. There is no dispute that Sabah is ours, sabi niya. And we have to occupy it. Occupy it. Right now, there is a negotiation between him and the Malaysian authorities of the Sultanate. And it appears that the Malaysian is amenable, much amenable on that concept of occupying it, but not taking, alert sila pag sinabi mong we will take Sabah. And walang punto yun eh. Occupy it because it's your bad. Ang sabi niya, the Philippine government is out. As far as the issue of claim of Sabah, the Philippine government is out. Sapagkat ang Philippine government was constituted only sometimes in 1940s. Ano bang pakialam niya diyan? Wala sila. Because of that waiver lang. I think there is a waiver. Panahon ni Magkapagal. Now, ang kanyang concept ngayon is that he's giving traditional, customary passport. He's just giving sanction by the DPA. Pero kwan lang, hindi yung tunay na passport. The moment na makareach yan ng mga 20 to 30 million, sabi niya, I will again talk to the Malaysia, ipakita ko sa kanila, ito yung mga membro namin. We will swim to Sabah and occupy it. Sabi na, anong gawin niya sa amin? Barilin niyo kami? We have that number of amos, 30 million. Because sabi niya. But ang kanyang concept again is, ang claimant dito is not only si Sultanate of Sulu, but the entire Filipino people. Because we belong to an ASEAN race, Malay race, for that matter, and is a Maharlikan, as what Bishop correctly declared, that we belong to a Maharlikan people. So that tayong mahalikan, the entire, not only the Sultanate of Luzon, tayong lahat ang may karapatan sa Sabah. Yan yung kanyang concept. Hindi lang Sultanate ang may-ari niyan. Tayong lahat. Because tayo, before the coming of the Spaniard, isang mahalikan lang tayo. Hindi man tayo nag-aaway-aaway noon pa ng ganito. What divide us ay itong mga foreigner na nag-conquer sa atin. Dati-dati, hindi naman tayo ganong katindi ng pag-aaway. Because of the coming in of the Spaniard and other foreigners, ito nagkawatak-watak tayo. And patuloy pa rin tayo nagkawatak-watak. So it's now high time for us na magkaroon tayo ng solid stance on the issue. Now, ano ba yung isa? Yung independence, yung MNLF, yung MLF. I think isa yan sa mga fatal mistake na pagsuporta ng MLF, ng Malaysia sa MLF. They make it appear it's a covenant. I think it's a covenant. I don't have the document. But parang may covenant na the Malaysian and the Rajak is firmly supporting the MLF, and for that matter, the BBL is the product of the negotiation facilitated by Malaysia. So that, pag na-implement yan at na-impress ng maganda, tumatakbo na, and it is now the duty of the BBL under the MLF to finally set aside the claim for Sabah. I don't know how what manner they are going to do it, but somehow that is an information that is part of the covenant between Malaysia under Rajak and the BBL. Wala nga. So silent sila dyan because yun nga, may covenant na kanila pong gagawin. Sila ang gagawa ng paraan para maalis yung Sabah. I think it's a condition yan between the Malaysian government and the MLF. We do not know. We don't have the document, but it had to be looked into seriously. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So, at this point in time, magla-lunch na muna tayo, no? Then after which, wag muna tayo umuwi, lalabas, magpipicture po tayo para sa ating kuwan, kasi historic itong araw. And then, kasi kami, itong team namin, si Bishop, kasama si Brother Ed, didiretso din po kami ngayong araw, punta ng Cagayan for the gathering of Lanao del Sur bukas, inshallah. So, magla-lunch na muna po tayo. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Maraming salamat po sa ating lahat.